Hi, Karen. Happy June 1st. We're recording a little early this week.
Katie, happy Pride Month to
Happy
you.
Pride Month. Yes.
What? I mean, we'll talk about it a little later, but I loved waking up today and some of my apps had turned into rainbows. And I was like, that's cute, you fuckers. Do you even hire queer people? Come on now.
Great question. Great question. Yeah. My entire Instagram is painted rainbow colored. And it is like, and then I have several activist people that I follow that are like, hey, if the corporation that has never mentioned pride or, gay rights or anything before is now mentioning it, fuck those people.
Yeah, no, fuck those people. Pride was a riot and you've turned it into a marketing opportunity and fuck you.
Wait, Pride was a riot?
Well, I mean, Stonewall
Stonewall riots
are the genesis of Pride celebrations, and that shit was a riot.
Yeah. Yeah. This is standing up for rights, not a convenient 30-day woke fest.
As much as I do enjoy, I don't know if they're going to have it this year. Target last year, every year, Target ups the the tacky rainbow clothing game.
Yeah.
And last year was like a tuxedo situation, like a rainbow striped, fruit striped gum tuxedo situation. And I will say that is one corporation, because there's so many gays who work at Target, that they're just like, they spend like the whole year just like plotting what tacky bullshit will we get these gays to buy now. That's the only one I enjoy.
Yeah, I totally get that. I am definitely going to be going to Target sometime this weekend, so I will be on the lookout for their fruit stripe gum version this year. Speaking of fruit stripe gum, did you like that as a kid? Because I hated it. Oh my God.
No, I did not like it. I did not enjoy it.
Good for the first 3 seconds, and then it tasted like garbage.
Precisely. Well, I feel like a lot of our childhood gum, the flavor did not stand up. It was like sugar coated. It gave you that quick hit of the sugar, and then it was over.
Also, gum. Do people chew gum anymore? I don't know. I think I don't chew. I mean, I don't chew gum as much anymore. That's not like a moral stance. I'm just actually wondering what happened to gum.
Yeah, no, I don't think people do chew gum. And I have a friend actually who worked for Mars Wrigley.
Oh, yeah.
And there was like all of this research about how to get people back into gum.
Oh.
Because I mean, like, when I do chew gum, which is so rare, I only chew like the little pellets.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when was the last time you had like a stick of gum, like unwrapped the foil of a stick of gum and ate it?
It seems so counterintuitive to like everything that we're reading, like, or seeing now. Like, it's not sustainable. You're literally chewing it and then spitting it in the garbage. Doesn't recycle. Nothing about it really recycles. Those chiclet things that you're talking about, those actually, well, no, I guess you have to you have to spit those out too. What are you going to do? Yeah. At least they don't have the packaging. This is a random sidebar, but back to Target and their wonderful designers. Thank you, Target.
Yes. Appreciate you so much this Pride Month. Yes. So we're recording on the 1st. Listeners, you will be hearing this on June 6th. And if hearing the words June 6th freak you the fuck out, welcome. Welcome to my nightmare of how the fuck is it June? Oh my God.
I mean, seriously, Karen, I feel like we also had this conversation so often last year. We were like, I do feel like 2021 was kind of a non-year. I feel like it didn't actually happen. Did it happen? I don't know. Like, it didn't really happen. All I remember from 2021 is that I got vaccinated. Kick ass.
I mean, the dates for me in 2021 were like vaccination day, the 1st, Omicron the 2nd,
yeah,
and then I guess no, Delta the 2nd, and Omicron the 3rd. Like, those are the 3 days that happened in 2021.
Totally, that was it. Nothing else. Everything else was just a blur. The Charlie Brown trumpet of time passing. Yeah, but it's now. Yeah, if everyone's listening to this when it comes out, June 6th, which is wild and crazy times. But yeah, June. I mean, not much has happened in my life. Well, I did go to Nashville over the weekend and that was fun. But outside of that, not a ton has happened in the past 5 days since we recorded. No, 6. I don't know. I don't even know. What is time?
What a time is a flat tire. It's your birthday month.
That's true. That's true. That's I want to be one of those people who celebrates my birthday every day of the month, but I'm not that person. Like, I wish I was. Are you that person in July?
I have been that person. I am not consistently that person, but I have, like a werewolf, transformed into that person and then become myself again.
You're like, people need to buy me drinks everywhere I go and be setting up plans for me 24/7.
Because it's my birthday month. Like, oh, is it your birthday? No. It's my birthday month.
Yes. And I am going to get paid without any work being done. That's also part of birth months. Should really just, everyone should have a month off with full pay and benefits.
Yeah. I mean, we get no, we don't, but like other countries get their like monarchs' birthdays off. Like,
true.
Whatever.
So true. Funny you say that, because I have a few people where I'm working right now that are living in the UK. And okay, so this is going to have happened. It's happening in the future for us, but it's happening in the past for the people who are listening. But this coming weekend is the Queen's, oh shit, what is it?
Coronation Day?
Platinum Jubilee. Yeah, well, it's the 70th anniversary of her coronation. And so she is so Queen Elizabeth is the oldest, I don't know what it is, the monarch that has lived the longest under and like been reigning for the long. I'm not putting words together, but like you get it. Like has been on the throne. Serving. Thank you. Longest serving. Yes, monarch. I think of all time, or at least in modern history. I don't know. So she's 96. And they have it's a bank holiday, like so Thursday, Friday this week. So listeners, for you, last Thursday, Friday, the entire like continent, like the whole British Isles, England, Ireland, Scotland, whatever, they're all completely off work. And this girl that I work with, she's like, yeah, it's basically like people fall into two camps. You either left the country this week, like to get the hell out, or you're fully embracing the craziness. Like it's going to be absolutely insane. I mean, it's probably going to be on our TVs too. I imagine like it'll make the news.
Oh my God. I saw something about it, and I feel like the headline I saw about it was very snarky about what percentage of Britons don't want Charles to ever be
king. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
What, like 99.9%?
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. Seriously. Yeah. Okay. So small sidebar. I went to the Jubilee 20 years ago. What? Random. So it happens, I guess, every 20 years. I don't even know. It was the Silver Jubilee, I think. But the reason I was there was because I was studying abroad in London. It just so happened that I was studying abroad in London, and I didn't know I knew nothing about the royal family other than the fact that 5 years prior, Princess Diana had died. And like, it's like, I knew a little bit about, like, I mean, I hardly kept track, but anyway, back then, Prince William was like the hottest guy ever for me and my friends. And so everyone had those, it was such a hot day in London. And like, we were all standing around with like thousands, like seriously, tens of thousands of people near Buckingham Palace. And like, all of us are carrying these, what is it? Those like paper fans, but the paper fan is in the shape of Prince William's face. And so you're just everyone, tens of thousands of people. So I ended up seeing him, I mean, from a very long distance away. And I saw her as well, what's her name? The Queen, what the hell? Yeah. Queen Elizabeth. She, that one that the whole thing is, the whole entire shoot and shebang is around. But yes, I saw her as well, but a very like teeny like speck of her red hat, and that was it. And then one of the surviving members of Queen played Bohemian Rhapsody standing on the edge of Buckingham Palace on a corner. It was kind of wild.
I mean, that is a piece of European history most Americans have never experienced. Will never experience.
Right. I don't even think I would have known that it was happening. Also, I'm sure that many people listening to this are like, who gives a shit? Do we care about like empires that have somehow stayed around for no reason? But yeah, I get it.
I find it fascinating.
Do you really? Are you like
no, I mean, okay, that's too strong. I'm fascinated that you got to go. The British royal family, who gives a shit?
You don't care about the British royal family.
I know, no. And it's so funny. I was listening back to our episode from last week, and you were talking about Princess Diana dying.
Oh yeah.
And I remember, so I will forever remember what I was doing when that happened, because I had just started working as a copy editor at a newspaper.
Oh my God.
At the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. It was my first Saturday on the desk. And that happened. And I remember you said, oh my God, Princess Diana just died. But I watched that unfold over hours.
Oh, you did?
Princess Diana has been in a car accident. Princess Diana was seriously injured. She was critically injured. She was gravely injured. She died. So like hours and hours of these alerts popping up on the AP wire. Yeah. And so we assigned one copy editor. I mean, this 1997, right? I still remember this. We assigned a copy editor to like own that story for the night, kind of shepherd the wire copy, right?
Totally.
Into the paper. And she was really freaked out because she was the exact same age as Diana at the time.
Oh God, she was 36.
Yeah. Was it 36 or 37?
It could have been one of, I don't know. It was
37 is what I'm thinking of.
It could be 37.
I know. But yeah, she was like, huh, okay. And of course, at that time, I was 22. So 37 seemed like, oh my God,
you might as well be in hospice. Like,
how are you still working?
How are you still here and breathing? Wow. That's so crazy that you had that experience though, because that's such a unique experience to actually be in a newsroom. Like you would have been getting it before anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And that summer was also like so fucked up news-wise. So that was also the summer that Gianni Versace was murdered.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And I was in South Florida at the time.
Wait, what? You're kidding? Like on work?
I was interning at the Palm Beach Post when that happened.
Oh my God.
So I also watched that unfold over the course of however many days that was. Yeah. Trippy shit. Like to be a recent college graduate, just getting into journalism, just getting into a professional newsroom, to have that shit happen. I was like, oh man.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, but I'm so interested in what happened when Gianni Versace died. Like were you in the newsroom? Like what actually, I mean, I know somebody just walked up to him.
Oh yeah.
At his house and he was like staring on his stairs or something. He was like,
yeah. Andrew Cunanan, is that his name? Yeah. Oh yeah. But then there was like, he had like murdered somebody. I'm going to get this totally wrong. Somebody who's watched the Ryan Murphy Versace thing is going to be like, oh my God, how do you not know these details? But it was just this wild thing. Like they didn't catch him right away. He holed up on a houseboat. He killed other people.
What?
Yeah. Andrew Cunanan. It's like a whole thing.
Oh God. Is he on death row now or dead?
Oh, he's dead. I think he killed himself.
Oh, got it. Wow. That was around the same time that the Gucci guy was killed also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there were a lot of like the head of the Gucci family was gunned down at his house in Milan or whatever. Like I think it was the year before Versace was killed. And Versace and Gucci were like kind of head to head, like, you know, and I don't think that was what it was, but it was just, yeah. Wow. It's wild.
We are professional tangent takers.
We are. That's what this podcast really is. That's what this podcast really is. Also, I would be so here for like us doing like a random crime podcast episode at some point. How fun would that be?
Oh my gosh. I've watched so many ridiculous, I don't watch television, but I do watch weird, random true crime shit.
Really?
Yeah.
I would just be so interested in having like a long conversation with you about like one case. And like, the thing is that like, we probably would think like everyone would know about this case. No, they don't. People don't know. Like, and I guess they can just skip forward, but I actually think a true crime podcast episode just as a little palate cleanser to our most
to lighten things up a little bit.
To lighten things up from deep, dark mental health topics. Yeah. So.
Well, I think I've mentioned to you, and before we actually get into the topic of today's episode, I think I've mentioned to you, I went through this weird period when I had basic cable and a lot of time on my hands where I would watch Snapped marathons.
What's Snapped is the name of the show?
Yes. So it's either on Oxygen or like one of the stations for women.
Oh.
Or Lifetime, maybe even. And it's a series that is no shit about women who kill people. That's the whole thing. They're like half an hour mini documentary episodes about women who've snapped and shot their cheating husband, shot their girlfriend, shot their girlfriend's boo, it's just a series. And I would sit and watch marathons, and I was living with my girlfriend at the time and things were not going well. And just imagine shit's not going well. And you come home and your partner's watching marathons
of Snapped.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, that is so interesting. I mean, I feel like I hardly ever even hear of crimes like that are committed by women. I know that's incredibly like a huge generalization stereotype, but like I don't like. Wow. I'm sure we can get that on YouTube.
Oh yeah, there's enough for a whole series.
That's amazing. Only one series, like a series, like they had like multiple seasons.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Snapped. Good to know. It's the
I
perfect name.
It really is. I feel like they maybe also have branched out to other crimes. Like now they also have like women who have committed financial crimes, maybe. Or maybe it's just all just, she snapped and killed a bunch of people. I don't know.
Here's the thing. There are so many reasons why I like that title, because like, first off, I love the fact that like it doesn't obviously imply women, but it kind of does, because here's the thing. We have to get really fucking angry to do something that will snap us. Whereas guys will be like, hey, I'm eating a cheeseburger. I'm just going to mow down 5 people. And then go back to their life. I know this is really dark and like horrible and people are skipping ahead or just going to another podcast. Bye-bye. Sorry. But like, I feel like snapped is the perfect word to describe women, because we have a large threshold.
Yes. Yeah, no. Yeah. And I just think about all of the women in my life would be like, I'm about to snap. I need you. Right? It's like, oh, it's in the past tense of that is snapped. Oh, she snapped. Oh, well.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
She said she was gonna.
Right. Exactly. We gave warning. Like there's All right. Well, I'll try to think about the true crime podcast episodes. Those of you listening, if you are interested, let us know. If you're not interested, also good info.
I feel like we're also overdue for another like guilty pleasure pop culture episode.
We're so overdue. Yeah. Like getting Brianna on here again, if she's interested, or like, I mean, I definitely am not, sure. I'm not up on like, I would love to know actually like what kind of music is out these days that like I should be listening to, or like just anything that is not in the news.
Have you heard the new Lizzo?
I've heard, no, I think I've seen part of it on Instagram, but I haven't actually listened to the whole. Is it a really good album?
I've just heard the single About Damn Time.
Oh yes, it's About Damn Time.
Yes.
I want it's such a good dance. Like I need to study the dance.
So good. And it so reminds me of roller skating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Did you have a roller rink as a kid?
Oh yeah.
Did you go?
Yeah. My 10th birthday party was at the roller rink.
Hell yeah, it was. That's amazing. Would they put the dim the lights and have like, did you ever have skates where like you grab a partner or a friend or something like that? I can't remember that. You hold hands and then you skate. I never
couples only.
Backwards only.
Couples only. Backward skate. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I always got a Milky Way bar during those because I was too nervous. I was like, I can't do it. And every single time I would try to go to the snack bar, I was always terrified because I was going way too fast. And then there's always that lip between the actual rink and then the bar, which is like carpeted. And it's like, man, this needs to be like a little bit more of like a softer landing, even though you could land on the carpet. But there was me just doing face plants on the carpet. Like
oh my God.
Like I was a really awkward kid.
Oh, yeah. Katie, same. We would have been friends.
Oh, 100%.
You would have got a Milky Way bar. I probably would have had a Snickers bar. I would have been like, we don't need a fucking couples only skate. Fuck this.
No, this is stupid. So dumb. But yes, I need to go back to a roller skating rink. Although I think I would be terrified at this point that I would like, I don't know, break my knee or something.
Bust a hip. I mean, that's what I keep thinking.
Bust a hip is so true. There was a guy in my high school who, it's so interesting. His name's Dave Parker, nicest guy. He and his entire family, they were like professional, maybe professional, but they were like competitive roller skaters that like traveled the country throughout all of high school, and nobody knew it because he was so ashamed to like talk about his sport. But like he was like legitimately fantastic, like for real. Like he had like tons of trophies, all this stuff. And it finally came out our senior year. He's the same age as me, that like, you know, he was like getting all of these awards and he was like in roller skating magazines. And I went up to him one day and I was like, Dave, like I've known you for so, like, you've never mentioned this. And he's like, yeah, you know, never. Like, it was just like, because roller skating is not the same as like football or like something like that. It's like, it's its own art. I feel bad for Dave. I hope he didn't get too embarrassed by that.
Well, and I hope that he, okay. Sorry, Are you
picturing me doing face plants? Because that's what I'm doing.
No, I'm thinking two things at the same time. One thing I'm thinking is I hope he's enjoying this resurgence of roller skating, because roller skating is back for the kids.
Is it?
Oh yeah. Oh my God, there's so many beautiful, especially like young Black kids, like in their 20s, like
amazing.
Just, oh my God, they're just fucking so talented. And then the other thing I thought of, unfortunately, was this line from Heathers. And it's not about roller skating, but it was like, okay, this is such a deep tangent. The line is something like, if you don't have a Bruce, this is Ohio. If you don't have a brewski in your hand, you may as well be wearing a dress. And I imagine that that's how poor Dave felt about roller skating. Like, if he's not playing football, come on.
So that's such a good connection. That was like a bridge. That was amazing. That just shows how intelligent you are, Karen. That you can pull out these amazingly like perfectly worded sentences that are actually like references to movie. I mean, I'm just proud to know you. Today's episode of Course I'm Not Okay, the podcast, is sponsored by Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, everyone. We're recording this pod on June 1st, which is the very beginning of Pride, and I'm thrilled to be celebrating this with all of you.
I'm thrilled to be celebrating, and it is sponsored specifically by the most commodified, tackiest, most nonsensical elements of Pride. Like, not actual pride, not actual queer liberation. We're talking about like we talked about, the rainbow tuxedo, rainbow striped cake. What else have I seen?
Yes.
Rainbow Gay Pride vodka.
Ooh, Gay Pride vodka.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. People walking around in rainbow unicorn onesies on a hot day. You do you.
That is an excellent one.
Yeah. I mean, this is such an amazing month for all of those things. And I should keep a tally of how many I see. Although now living in Bend, probably won't see as many, sadly. San Francisco was wonderful for that.
Oh my God. It's the Mecca. It's the headquarters.
It is the headquarters.
Tacky Pride. Yeah. This reminds me, a quick story. One of my favorite Pride moments of all time was, is it Jimmy Dean sausage?
Yeah.
Do you remember those commercials with the sun? There was a guy dressed as the sun. No, that dude was on a Pride float and people lost their minds.
Really?
Yes, it was just the most random thing, because it's like float of go-go boys. Politicians go by. The Chicago Police Department Pride contingent, whatever, fuck you guys. And then the sun.
The Jimmy Dean sausage sun.
Like, legit was him in the sun costume on a Pride float. I died.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's such a good choice by Jimmy Dean Sausage. It really is. Like, it's like, who knew that mascot would be such a hit?
Oh man, it really brightened everybody's day.
That's amazing. Yes. Well, happy Pride, everybody. We hope that you partake in some of the tackiest accoutrement, I guess.
Yes, of Pride. That's very kind of you to say, Katie. I'm also proud of you. I could also just show you how scrambled my brain is. So I think it's amazing. I will take the compliment. I appreciate you so much.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So do you remember when we were really little? I don't know if you ever had this, but I remember having Fisher-Price roller skates, the ones that were like adjustable.
Oh yeah.
They were pieces of shit. I fell so many times on those. I was like, who created these crappy pieces of shit? Like, they didn't actually roll very much. Like, I don't know. I mean, and then you're supposed to grow into them. I get it. Like, they're cheaper, but no.
Like, they were allegedly, they like would attach to your shoes, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, that's a death trap. That is some 70s parenting right there. Like, survival of the fittest. If you survive these, then you were meant to live.
We hope you don't get paralyzed. Like, no. Like, just wing in a prayer. Yeah. That was because they were like two parts almost. They were like an accordion. Oh, God, that's 70s and 80s.
Oh my God. Right. Well, yes, you're born in the 80s. That's right.
But really, like, a lot of that stuff doesn't translate now, like I doubt parents today would ever even look at that kind of stuff. Although maybe on eBay, they're getting them.
I mean, I watch kids walking down the street in my neighborhood. They have leashes on, helmets. They're just walking and they have like knee pads and shit on. Yeah, no, these parents today, they're not strapping little metal death traps on these kids' shoes. No.
No way. Okay, so one more tangent before we get to the topic. Okay, so when I was like, I actually don't know how old I was. Mom, I know you're listening and I'm sure you can remember the exact day and time, but I was at this mall near our house in Michigan, and I loved those how like in department stores, like the places where all of the clothes are hung, they kind of like are hung in like a circle, and like you can climb on the inside, and there's like a little space, like it's like a 2-year-old could fit in them. Well, I thought they were like the coolest things ever, and so I went and like hid, and my mom lost me, and like I think I was 3 maybe, and it was actually like it was super terrifying, like horrible, and she found me and she was hysterical, and so from that point on I had to wear a leash.
Oh
Oh yeah.
Katie.
Okay, so not only did I have to wear a leash, it was on my wrist. The leash was on my wrist because they didn't have those backpack leashes back then that like kind of look like you're wearing a stuffed animal, but actually it's a fucking leash. No, this was like 1984, where I have like it was a rainbow colored leash, so that's kind of cool, but I hated it. And if I was gonna go with my mom anywhere, I was too big to be in a stroller, so I had to wear my fucking leash. So then fast forward, oh yeah, for years walking around Meyer with a leash. Then later on, I remember this is really no shade on my mom at all. I mean, I get it. I think if I were a parent, I would just like I would lock myself in my room or something. I don't know what, but she didn't do that, thankfully. But anyway, she would bring me along as long as I was wearing a leash. But then like I ended up, I remember this weekend, I don't know why this came up, but like later on when the leash had timed out, like it was like, okay, you're 11 now, you can't wear a leash anymore, or whatever it was. She would like, I would be like looking at things at the grocery store or whatever with my brother, and then my mom would be ready to go, and there are no cell phones, and so she would page us on the intercom all the time. Like I'm not even kidding, like I'm not over exaggerating when I say like potentially 25 times. Like that's what I know. No, all the time. It was almost every single time. And it was like Katie and Eric Morrell, please come to the front desk. And it wasn't her. It was like she asked the customer service agent. Anyway, it's just, I think the struggle is real for parents who have children that like to run away. That's the moral of the story here. Clearly, I was one of those people.
I mean, also, wow,
it's a lot.
So much to, that I was just about to say. There's a lot to unpack there, and childhood is rough on everyone involved.
Exactly. I really have no negative feelings about this. Maybe in my deep psyche I do, but I can't recall them at the moment. But oh man. It was just funny that she like used the intercom system as like her own personal walkie-talkie. So it's like, I mean, I get it. Like it would have been annoying as hell if I were her, because I mean, what are you going to do? You're either going to use that walkie-talkie intercom system that like goes out to 500 people buying their like Campbell soup, or you're going to be looking around for the next 90 minutes and possibly not finding me and my brother, who is 3 years younger than me. So,
well, and meanwhile, your ice cream's melted and
totally. Exactly. Oh, fuck that shit. The popsicles. No, it's efficiency.
Oh my God. I really want to weaponize the intercom systems now. Anyway, okay. All right.
Right. Whew. All right. Deep dive into the 80s. But anywho, okay. So in our seamless segue tradition, today's topic, yet again, you brought it up, and I think it's brilliant.
I feel like the phrasing, we talked it through, and the phrasing actually came from you.
Okay, well, the idea, and so it was a marriage of ideas.
Yes.
The idea being, check yourself.
And you all know how that ends before you wreck yourself.
Yes.
And I feel like for me, this conversation started, what was the one that I was thinking that I initially said? I like check yourself better. I feel like, I know. The one that I said was, everybody just calm down.
Yes.
I'm going to need everyone to calm down. And I recognize that you can't tell women to calm down. It's very patronizing. It's very rude. It minimizes our emotions. And everyone chill out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like, I love this topic so much. And I'm like, I know everyone's going through their own stuff and like the news is horrible and we're holding space for all of it. And in no way am I trying to minimize anyone's experience at all. And yet I do find myself being a little inflamed these days. I need to check myself. I do. I was like driving somewhere recently and I got to my destination and I had to do a meditation in the parking lot. That was like a version of me checking myself. I wasn't actually in a good mood after the meditation. I was like, all right, well, I did that. So hopefully something else works. But I was like, I'm trying. Yeah. It was an attempt at checking myself.
I appreciate that you were able to do it. Like, I feel like I recently had this epiphany. I was sitting in a meeting. We were talking about something, and every other meeting we've had about this thing has been incredibly emotional and upsetting for me. And I sat in this meeting completely calm and realizing that the reason it had been so upsetting is that I had been taking every single thing very personally.
Ooh.
Everything everyone said felt like an insult to me. And I've rounded a corner where that is no longer true. And it made me realize, like, have I just been triggered for like the last 8 months? Is that what's happening here? Like,
yeah.
Is that really what this has been about? It was very eye-opening. And it really forced me, yes, to check myself and to not take it personally. This is not about me. This is about something larger. The fuckers in this room who blame me can go fuck themselves. I know what I did and what I didn't do, and I'm going to keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. I mean, how did that feel when you kind of had that realization or those thoughts?
Of course, it's very liberating to realize, like, this is not about me. There's also some shame there of like, wow, I've just been in this like heightened emotional sensitivity for a really long time and didn't know.
Yeah.
Or knew that it was happening, but didn't understand how it was impacting how I interacted with the world around me.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah.
And it's like, that was your truth at the time, you know, like it's like, and then now you're kind of realizing a different truth at a different time. Yeah. I mean, I think that one thing you said about taking things personally, I think is so hard for me because I definitely, if I'm triggered and like someone says something that like I can somehow conjecture to be about something that might be tangentially connected to something that I'm thinking about, then I'm like, what are you talking about? What? And like, I don't actually come off that way, but inside I'm like, you know?
You can't see it right now, listeners, but that was a very angry Katie face.
It was a pretty angry face. Yeah, I mean, this happens with Tyler all the time, daily. Like he'll say something or ask me a question. I'm like, what do you mean? What? What did you mean by that? And not every day, but like probably every 10th day. And he'll be like, I was just, and I'm like, oh, you just actually meant the question you were asking. Like that's it. And what I really need is for me to say to myself, to check my fucking self and be like, oh, all right, well, there's other stuff going on. Like maybe there's other things. Maybe I need to slow down. Maybe I need all of that.
Ooh, the slowing down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I recently had an interaction with someone I don't know very well. And we were talking about various things. And I'm trying to think of how to tell the story in the most coded way possible. Basically, what I realized, like, I looked back on our interaction and I said something to her, like, calling out an observation about our interaction.
Yeah.
And what I realized later is that we had been talking about something that I feel very sensitive about, like that pushes on my like sensitive, you're not good enough childhood trauma buttons.
Yeah.
And so once those buttons got pressed, I heard everything through that lens.
Ooh.
And it didn't matter what she was saying. And it didn't matter how positive it was. It didn't matter what else was happening. All I could hear were like those buttons getting pushed, right? And all the shit that was coming up from those buttons. And it was like it was a check yourself moment. It was a really like, wow, I just like missed out on all of the good things that happened in this interaction because I was like freaking out about some weird shit that like wasn't actually happening, was only happening in my head.
Oh my gosh, that's so real though. That's so real. It's like it's so hard to stop that train though once it's starting. Like it's like once it's starting, it's taken off. It's full steam and you're like no. And then you're like, okay, it's just going.
Well, and how do you redirect about a conversation about something that you don't feel comfortable talking about?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah. Without being like well, the truth is I guess there's no wrong way to do it or right way to do it, I feel like. And if you're not comfortable, like that's all that you need to know. Like it's not a safe emotional place. And so then it's like I've definitely been around people who are in those type of situations and then they're like, hey, I don't want to talk about this anymore to the person they're talking to. And then that person who's talking about it had no idea that they were triggering them. And they're like, I'm so sorry. And it's super awkward. It's awful. But then I'm like, well, maybe it's better that like that person was super direct. I don't know. I don't have a formula for that.
I definitely don't. And right. You don't know what somebody else's triggers are.
No.
And that's the thing about triggers. They can be the most innocuous things.
Yes, totally. And they can change day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, second by second. Like they really can. Like they can change if I'm hungry, if my blood sugar is low, like that's, yeah.
Oh my God. I just heard the best word at work. Thank you, Anne. I don't think she listens, but instead of hangry, she gets anxious.
Ooh, I like that better. That's so much better.
Oh my God. It's so good.
It's so good. And so like, I can empathize better with anxious than I can with hangry. Hangry is just like, dude, check yourself, basically. Yeah. Like, anxious. Yes. I'm like, hey, okay, do you want a granola bar? Like, are you cool? Like,
yes. Right? Oh my God, no. Yeah. Anxious is the Snickers commercial. One of my favorite commercials of all time is the one with Aretha Franklin in the car.
Ooh, I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh my God. Wait, you're not yourself when you're hangry. Snickers had this whole ad campaign and they would have like just random celebrities in the car being shitty. My favorite one is like, it's this group of dudes, like just bros, like white bros in this like hatchback.
Yeah.
And Aretha Franklin's on the first seat, just like mixing up with them. It's like, dude, you're being such a, and she's right. Like just being Aretha Franklin. And then they give her a Snickers bar and he like turns back into like just another dude. And I was like, oh my God, we all have a little Aretha Franklin in us.
Oh my God. So wait, Aretha Franklin's the one that is eating the Snickers bar?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Like this dude was hangry and he turned into a Tifa. He turned into Aretha Franklin.
This is amazing. And then he just turns him back into a normal dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I really think that Snickers has gone down in their marketing budget because I remember it so vividly when I was a kid, like that it was like the best snack ever. Wasn't there like their branding was like satisfy the hunger inside you, Snickers. And then it was like some normal looking person who's like eating a snack. I'm like, that's me. I can be a person that is satisfying my hunger inside me with Snickers. Sure. Yeah. And it's like, it was almost like good branding for like, this is kind of healthy. This is sort of healthy. It has peanuts in it.
It has peanuts in it.
Exactly. And a ton of high fructose corn syrup, but who's counting? Like no one talks about that until 1995 anyway. So we're good for 15 years minimum.
Peanuts grow on trees? Question mark? Bushes? Yeah. I don't know. They grow. They
come
from the ground.
They're of nature.
They're naturally occurring.
They're naturally occurring. Unlike caramel and I don't know, milk chocolate.
Nougat.
Nougat.
A Snickers
the bar. Fuck is nougat? Like, really though, really. I mean, that's like a whole different podcast. Oh God.
I don't know why that sentence is so funny, but it's killing me right now.
Same. Oh my God. All right. I gotta pull it together. There are a lot of okay, losing my shit. I'm losing my shit. Oh man. I needed a laugh.
I know. Ooh, Maddie, to the person who asked if we do takes, no.
Clearly.
No.
Clearly.
Nope.
If you needed evidence. Oh my God. Okay, so back to checking yourself. I mean, one thing that I don't know how this is going to come out, but like, I kind of feel like if, if you're feeling super triggered and you're feeling like shit, I need to check myself, like there's something about like the slowing down and all of that, but there's also something about like knowing like the power that you have inside of you to like be okay, like to remind yourself to be okay. Like there's something, I don't know how to like bridge these thoughts, but like it's kind of like I think that when I'm really like it's because I don't actually believe that I'm going to be okay, or that I can like control my own shit, or like that I don't know, trust or something. There's something in that. I'm not sure.
Ooh, I love that. Ooh, I mean, I feel like isn't that it goes back to like I'm stealing this from the Hunger Games. I'm just gonna admit that. But there's some like anxiety like exercise you do where it's like you just ground yourself like I'm safe right now. I'm sitting in this room. I'm looking at the trees. I'm like you just like do this exercise where you like just ground yourself very specifically in this space.
Yes. I love that.
It's kind of what you just said reminds me of, like, you're going to be okay. You're safe, right? Like,
yes.
But yes, it's the trusting yourself too.
It is. And it's like, I love that so much. And it's also like just taking a moment, like take a beat, like take a beat. Like you see that in movies all the time, how people are like, I just need a minute. And then they walk outside and they like take a breath of fresh air. No one does that in real life. Like no one is like, can you give me a minute? Or at least I don't. And maybe I need to start installing that in my life.
I mean, it used to be something I found myself doing at work a lot.
Really?
When I was a flack for the state of Illinois. I was a spokesperson for the state of Illinois for a department, and it fucking sucked. And I found myself like getting into the walls of my office were really thin, and my staff would be like, "Oh damn, who are you yelling at?" I'd be like yelling on the phone, Katie, yelling on the phone at reporters. And then I would just get to this place where was like, you know what? Let's take a step back here. Let's just take a minute. And I just did it in a meeting 2 weeks ago. It was just like, all right, I literally did let's take a timeout. Everybody take a breath.
I love that.
Chill. Yeah, because people get real heated, and then of course you don't take a breath.
Yes, you don't. And it's like, we can do that for ourselves. Like in any moment, no one is like, it's just a good reminder to just be like, hey, like and you don't need to be level 10 triggered to take a breath. Like you can just do it on a random Tuesday, feeling good as hell. Like still always a good thing to take a breath. Love that.
Oh my God, I'm just thinking, baby, how you feeling? Feeling good, is that you?
Oh yes. Back to Lizzo. Yes, I'd love to have her on the pod. How amazing would that be?
Lizzo, we know you listen.
Yes. I'm really still on the nougat stuff. I just can't get it out of my head. I really need to know what it's made of, like chocolate and goo or something. Like it doesn't actually taste like anything. Like what is nougat made of?
What? Okay. Since we're circling back to this, what I enjoyed the most about it was the outrage in your voice. What the fuck is nougat? Like this is so real.
It's so real. I don't think I've ever had that thought in my life, but now I'm like, oh, I need to investigate this shit. Yeah.
And is there nougat in a Snickers bar? No, right? That's Milky Way.
That's a really good question. You're right. That is Milky Way. Because here's the thing. There are derivatives of Snickers bar. It's like Snickers is everything. And then remember Three Musketeers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's basically just nougat and chocolate. And then, right?
Katie, here's the thing. I was a fat kid. If there's a candy, yes, of course, I know exactly what it was. Savory, snack, or some kind of sweet thing. Yeah, no, I know what it is and I've eaten it.
I mean, wait, but is there a nougat in Milky Way? Because I don't know. You know what? I think there is. All right. Thank you for our 2 listeners who are left. We really appreciate you. Wow. All right. Well, this has been very enjoyable. Yeah.
I hope that I'm going to take these lessons with me about checking myself and recognizing when I'm freaked out, and recognize that my fuse has gotten very short. And I feel like one of the things I've struggled with, why I haven't been better at checking myself, is that I think like, I don't get upset easily, right? Like I put up with these fuckers all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. And I feel like if it used to be a mile, now it's just like 10 feet.
Yeah.
My fuse has gone from being like real long to being real short. So I just have to recognize that, like, Nope. Patient, empathetic, compassionate, patient Karen. I don't know where her ass went, but she's not here right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And just like recognizing it and then just being like having empathy for that, Karen. And that it's hard. Life is tough. Like, I want to go back to roller skating. I really do. Like, but I don't want to bust a hip. So fuck roller skating. But I love everything you said, Karen. And I hope everyone is resonating with this concept of checking yourself and doing your research on Nougats. I will be doing something in the description of the pod about that. And if you know, there might be a picture on Instagram next week with the more you know about Nougats. So thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next week.